Happy holidays. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. We are excited to share some of our favorite Eye on Chicago stories with you. They're all about good people doing good things.
We begin with a family who looks to the sky to find joy. It's part of a long tradition they love to share.
And as I found out, flying a kite is more than child's play.
Oh, I see it up here.
Yeah.
Yes.
They find it beautiful. I see the smile on their faces.
Tell Tamo Chavez to go fly a kite.
Come on, come on.
And he will, gladly.
I started to fly kites since I was a child. Kites were my favorite toy.
He's been flying kites for more than 40 years.
Back in the days, we had no screens, so we have to use our imagination to play. You hold it, it goes that way. Yeah, it's okay, that's okay. Okay.
But Tamo doesn't just fly kites, he builds them.
It feels good that something I made with my family, now we're having fun with it.
Tamo, his wife Luz, and daughter Ateneo showed us how they create kites in their garage on Chicago's southwest side. And they keep it simple. No frills, no fancy stuff here.
Nothing electric, nothing electronic, just simple materials like wood, plastic, some strings, stuff, simple things.
It took less than an hour for these simple things to morph into this.
The string is 2,000 feet. That's the longest we try.
And when it's all done, Tamo's pride is sky high.
Something really simple, but at the same time so beautiful. And this time we're gonna try in that direction, okay?
Okay. It's time to head out to the neighborhood park for takeoff.
Okay, you give me the signal?
It's something that is his passion, but he passed it on to us.
Luz says she didn't know about her husband's love of kites right away.
It came after we were dating. He started to show me, like, he loved building kites. And said, let's try it together.
It's very steady up there. Seeing my dad fly a kite, it definitely sparked a lot of bonding moments between us.
Their daughter is a student at the University of Michigan. She's studying, wait for it, aerospace engineering. And yes, she says there just might be a connection here.
Seeing the kite fly at those altitudes, it was like helicopters and airplanes were like right there. I think that sparked curiosity out of me.
Yeah, close up.
On this day, past the trees, our kite flew so high that we couldn't even see it.
It's nice, right?
Yeah. Luz says the weather almost always cooperates.
When we moved to Chicago, we found out that Chicago has wind almost all year round.
Try hold it.
Look at how high it is.
One of the family's greatest joys is going out to Montrose Beach and sharing their love of kite flying with others.
When I see people's face, I know for just a minute that person feels happy.
They ask questions. They tell him, oh, we used to do this as a child.
The string, I say, about 1,500 feet.
Wow. This is cool. Can I walk off?
Yeah, sure.
The look on their faces is kind of like, yep, can you believe it? It makes me feel cool. Nice, honestly. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
And Atenea has every intention of keeping the family tradition alive.
It's something very simple, very beautiful that I think is worth sharing, like, to the world.
How does it feel? Bring any memories? Yeah, it does. A dream of mine would be to see many people, taking the time to practice these simple pleasures like flying a kite with their families, their children, grandchildren.
A few years ago, a woman told Luz her father had recently passed away, and seeing Tamo's kites soaring reminded her of her dad, who also loved kites.
That was such a great story. Well, now we meet a man who decided to face adversity with a sense of adventure and a smile. A driving force on his journey, a friend he never imagined meeting.
Hello, Mr. Steven.
You could say cabbie Anwar Liazel is a driving force in his pal Stephen Daniels' life. In many ways. They first met about 8 years ago.
We're friends. We're family. We support each other and encourage each other. It's an amazing journey.
How did these two very different men become so close? Anwar says it happened organically as he began driving Stephen to his treatment sessions for cancer.
I first noticed symptoms at the end of 2016, in the beginning of 2017, but it was that my knee was in severe pain. And then I started to feel pain like in my back, and then it developed into having difficulty with urinating.
In 2017, Stephen learned he has metastatic prostate cancer. He also had a choice to make.
And I just said to myself, you know, if you were planning a trip to Spain, I've never been to Spain, it would be an adventure. So I'm just going to look at this cancer journey as my adventure.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Good to see you, my dear.
Stephen's oncologist, Dr. Maha Hussein, says prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men, but still.
The odds for overall survival is tremendous. Many men right now are living quite a bit longer. As you can see, your prostate cancer is looking stable.
She says attitude is key. Take Stephen.
He has a wonderful spirit. He is very positive, and he is definitely a survivor, and he's enjoying his life. So the key thing is to keep being a fighter and a survivor.
Take me out to the bar. And in Stephen's case, a singer.
Once I was diagnosed with cancer, I made a list of things that I'd always kind of wanted to do or to pursue. One of them was taking voice lessons.
So in 2022, when the Prostate Cancer Foundation was looking for someone to represent the organization during the Cubs' 7th inning stretch, they chose Stephen, and no one was more surprised.
If you'd have told me in 2017 when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer that I'd be singing at Wrigley Field, I would have said, you know, that's silly, that's not going to happen.
I always joke, one day I'm going to buy this building because of you.
Speaking of things Stephen never guessed would happen, Anwar's constant kindness.
He would ask me if I needed to go to the grocery stores. He would shut off the car. He'd wait for me. I'd go and get my groceries or whatever. Then he would just drive me home. One night he said, we were taking care of dinner, so on the ride home, he just pulled over in front of that restaurant, went in and got me dinner.
But there's even more.
The most moving thing that he ever said to me was that he was praying for me when they were at mosque, that he was praying for me.
Anwar told us their friendship was meant to be.
His heart is so big, and it doesn't matter what words comes out of my mouth. It's not enough. He's very kind to our family, giving a lot of goodies to my kids. There you go.
And a certain amount of chocolate.
I always got his children some kind of bag of candy.
He spoiled my kids. Yeah. Now I'm having trouble controlling them. Whenever I bring chocolate home, my wife was like, did you buy chocolate? I'm like, no, honey, this is from Mr. Stevens. It's like, oh, in this case, it's okay. Okay, no. I'm like, excuse me?
Anwar's final word about Stephen?
And I believe that he was born with a smile.
And Stephen's word for all of us.
Live your life. Embrace life. If you wanted to go to dinner at a fancy restaurant, you've never done that, make a reservation and go to that restaurant. If you want to take voice lessons, go take voice lessons. Embrace all those opportunities.
Stephen actually sang again at Wrigley in 2024, so now that he's done it twice, he's hoping for a three-peat.
Well, after a break, you've heard about lions and tigers and bears, but what about bugs and bones and snakes? Our Marie Saavedra shows just how brave she can be as she meets some creepy creatures eye to eye.
It's never too late to be a dad. If you're a dad and need a support, reach out to us for help. The law offices of Jeffrey M. Leving Limited. Call us 312-356-DADS and visit dadsrights.com.
Looking to grow your business? Advertising on CBS Chicago gives you unparalleled access to engaged viewers. Put the power of local advertising to work for you.
Are you with us?
Advertise with CBS Chicago.
I speak because the Holocaust stopped, but the hatred in the world has not stopped. And that's why, until my last breath, I will tell that story.
What's the point using my past to make sure that the future of the new generation is better than mine?
but I have so much more to tell you.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend.
So happy together.
And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Red Tag. Now well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on all 2026 Equinox models. Plus, new GM insurance customers who lease or finance through GM Financial may be eligible for 6 months of auto insurance on select Chevy models at no additional cost.
We are back. So here's the question. Do you like snakes? I know your answer.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking I know yours, too. Our Marie Saavedra says not so much, but she took one for the team anyway at Chicago's Field Museum.
We had an amazing tour of 3 areas at the field, but full disclosure, I'm not very good with things that are, dare I say, a little bit creepy.
What a gorgeous shade of green. But I also learned that creepy, crawly things can be very beautiful.
We are in the insect pin collection at the Field Museum.
It's a huge room.
It's a huge room. We have approximately 5 million pinned insects in here.
Wow. Jim Louderman is a collections assistant in the museum's insect division. The dearly deceased moths, beetles, butterflies, and more that he showed me tell stories, aid researchers, and help the planet.
We can collect things today in the same places they were collected 50 or 100 years ago to see what differences there are in the insect populations and species diversity.
Talk about some oldies but goodies.
These butterflies are 125 to 150 years old.
They're stunning.
Isn't that cool? In these 2 drawers, we have 2 beetles that were collected by Charles Darwin.
Really?
Yes.
And we also met some heavyweights.
These are the heaviest beetles in the world. They can weigh 3.5+ ounces. They're good to eat. They have more protein than an 8 to 10 ounce steak. They have no fat or cholesterol. And when you cook them, the insides congeal to a texture that's identical to lobster.
Well, now you're selling me.
Yeah. Insects are pretty cool.
But we may have saved the cutest for last. Meet Rosie, a pink-toed and very docile tarantula with a bit of wanderlust.
Because she has gotten away and wandered around the museum for 3 months one time, I should probably put the top back on.
Let's go this way.
Okay.
And I'll lead the way.
Now it was our turn to wander, to visit some reptiles with Sarah Ruan, curator of herpetology. I'm going to admit, this is the area that I was most nervous about.
Oh, that's okay. So many people are afraid of snakes. I totally get it.
Sarah's a walking encyclopedia of all things reptilian, and she showed us her favorite snake.
It has this really crazy looking appendage on its tail. And birds, they think, oh, there's something good to eat right there. And they fly on in and they try to grab it and eat it, and the snake whips around and bites them and eats them instead.
Sounds a little sneaky to me. I had to remember that these guys are no longer with us, spending the afterlife cozied up in these jars. But check out this amber-eyed boomslang. It almost looks alive.
One thing about these specimens is once they're preserved, they can last hundreds of years and be used by scientists now and very, very far in the future. You want to get like a nice close-up?
I'll just stay back here, but thanks, Sarah.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Bill Simpson. I'm collections manager of fossil vertebrates.
Like the others we saw, this collection features holotypes, specimens that provide reference points for scientists. And there are a lot of them in this room.
Kind of like a dinosaur warehouse.
Among other things, Bill is an expert on the terrific T-Rex Sue. It turns out she has more bones than you see here, and Bill showed us some of the extras housed in these drawers.
All these bones, that's Sue. Those are little pieces of Sue, yeah. The pieces in here are float from Sue.
And float is just bone fragment.
Eroded bone that leads to the discovery often.
We also saw reproductions of Sue's bones that are used for research. And if you think Bill has the best job in the world, he'll agree. In fact, all of our guides say they couldn't love their work more. So the next time you're wandering the Field Museum, remember, visitors see less than 1% of everything that's here. And like we said when we started, that's pretty amazing.
Chicago's Field Museum is renowned the world over. Its collections are also lending libraries that send materials to scientists all across the globe. Pretty impressive. I'm Marie Saavedra, CBS News, Chicago.
Nicely done, Marie. And now some people who are getting their golf games down to a T.
They are also building confidence and community. Our Jim Williams introduces us to cops who are helping kids stay on course.
What do you get when you combine kids, cops, and golf? As we saw, even more than you might imagine.
I'd be watching TV, they'd be saying like, oh, police officers are back. But when I was there today, I realized like all of them are not the same.
Nice, that's what I'm talking about.
Nicer?
Yeah.
Yep, it's going a little west.
Patient?
Yeah.
11-year-old Danye Walker is taking a swing at more than golf today.
Woo!
He's learning that kids and cops
That's what I'm talking about.
can be teammates.
Let's try to find our balls, guys.
Welcome to Play Like a Champion, hosted by the Chicago Police Department and the Chicago District Golf Association. Today's session is at Columbus Park on the city's west side.
Our goal, if you will, when we approached Superintendent Snelling, was to utilize the game of golf as a conduit. I see a blue. To bring the community and the kids together with the officers at a place that we consider a safe haven.
And it teaches these young people that we can all work together, we can all get along. All right, how's my form?
Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling, who loved the idea.
Not only are you being exposed to a new sport, a new game, you're being exposed to our officers, to sit down, talk with them, team up with them, have mentorship from our officers, understand that they're human and that we can all talk, we can all get along, we can partner.
These are young golfers. Snelling insists that's the key.
So what we want to do is give young kids an opportunity to do things that would deter them from following a lifestyle that is not going to lead to success for them in the future.
Who's up first? You up first? All right.
But if we can prevent those things, especially starting with very young children and partnering with them, letting them know that they can trust us as a department, trust us as people.
He says it's also about expanding their world.
Having seen things outside of my community growing up is what helped me look at life in general from a different perspective. If you think that everything that you see every day around you is the only thing that exists, you don't grow, your mind doesn't expand, and then you get stuck in that one place.
And it goes both ways.
From the officer's perspective, we also know that they go through the trials and tribulations, and we have used with our vets as well as with officers golf as a therapeutic tool.
And we asked Superintendent Snelling if he played.
Actually, I do not. But I'm sure one of these young people out here will teach me today.
Well, here goes. Not too shabby. And Snelling says seeing the teamwork gives him great satisfaction.
This is proof positive that these things happen and that these officers are human beings, and these officers do want to see change and they want to see young people grow in a positive way. We have to humanize each other if we're going to understand each other.
Superintendent Snelling told us when the call came out, officers were lining up to participate. Jim Williams, CBS News, Chicago.
We have to say, seeing the superintendent on the golf course, that was pretty cool, and he did a pretty good job, too.
Yeah, he did. I had a little guy who is changing lots of lives in a big way. We'll have that and more when we come back.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. That sedentary inactivity is terrible for your health. It's time to add some extra steps to your day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact. It's the easiest exercise you will ever do.
Ellipse fits perfectly under my desk, and it is so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone your legs. Increase your mobility, flexibility, and balance. Plus, stimulate healthy circulation.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better. It makes me feel stronger, too.
Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Perfect for home therapy. Whisper quiet to use while you work.
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes
me feel energetic.
Plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work. Loosen stiff joints and tight muscles, reduce swelling, alleviate cramps, and calm restless legs.
Ellipse is so smooth, so easy on my joints. My legs are stronger, my joints are no longer stiff. I can walk without pain. My mobility is as good as it was 20 years ago.
Other seated exercises produce harsh, jarring movement, but Ellipse's 46% larger rotational diameter provides more exercise plus ultra smooth motion that's safe, super low impact, and feels great. Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Be one of the first 300 callers and get upgraded to the Ellipse Deluxe Bundle, a $100 value. Yours free. Get the faster motor that produces more than 5 miles worth of steps per hour, the non-slip mat, and wireless remote. Call now.
Welcome back. At just 11 years old, Leo Bonilla has changed the lives of hundreds of families.
His goal, to make sure no one goes to bed hungry, and he's working hard to achieve it. Marie Saavedra has his story.
Leo Bonilla has some very strong opinions about people going hungry. He says it just isn't fair. So he's doing something about it.
All right, nicely done, sir.
From the looks of things, 11-year-old fifth grader Leo Bonilla seems like any other kid his age. He has his favorite school subjects.
Social studies is my favorite, and, recess.
His favorite food?
Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops.
And then there are his career aspirations.
I want to be a baseball player.
But how many kids Leo's age can say they have been helping feed hungry people for years? Yes, years. Leo's been organizing food collections for families in the far northwest suburbs.
I know, if I didn't have food, I would be very sad, and I'm sure all the people that don't have food are.
His mom, Casey, and dad, Ed, say it all started when Leo was 5.
We were just watching the news, and they were showing footage of people waiting 2 hours for food. He just asked, what are they waiting for? And I'm like, they're waiting for food.
I thought it wasn't fair that they didn't have food because they don't deserve that.
And that was this 5-year-old's aha moment.
He immediately, well, what about the change I'm collecting? Can I give them my money? Yep. I said, and I'll match it. I brought it up to my mom and my family, and they're like, oh, we'll match it. Before we knew it, we had $100.
They decided to donate the money to the District 300 food pantry. But Leo wasn't finished yet.
Thank you guys for donating.
He and his mom made a Facebook video with a link so people could make their own donations.
I think we had it open for a week and $1,700 that first year. We've actually done it 5 years now, so it's about over $10,000 he's raised monetary through these Facebook.
Yeah, he's always has a lot of empathy for people. So in a way, it wasn't too surprising.
But wait, there's more. Leo organizes food collections in his neighborhood and at his school, Newbert Elementary in Algonquin.
My second grade teacher, Miss Coombe, helped out a lot.
It's really fun to watch as these kids are loading the trucks. They have a sense of pride. They feel so good about themselves, and it's all because of Leo and what he started.
And you can bet the people at District 300 Food Pantry are big fans. They even gave Leo one of their first Hunger Champions awards.
It's very unique to have an elementary school student that has that sort of a passion and a kid that will actually follow through, and he keeps following through year after year. This year, the fundraising was over $3,300, and I want to say that it was 2,500 to 3,000 pounds of food. We brought our box truck over and we filled up 4 pallets, so it was a lot.
Next year, Leo leaves Newbert for middle school.
I told him he couldn't leave. No, I did tell him that jokingly, but yes, we are going to miss him. He just is such a kind, caring, just such a good person, and he really tries his best, and he really tries to help others. It's just so wonderful.
But to him, it's all really simple.
It's it brings me joy to see people getting food, and it helps a lot, so they get food, and everybody's happy.
Leo's final food for thought?
Keep helping out, and the world will be a better place.
Leo made those school food drives into fun events. There were classroom and even district-wide competitions. Newbert Elementary is this year's winner. I'm Marie Saavedra, CBS News, Chicago.
Leo's not stopping anytime soon. He plans to keep fighting hunger for years to come.
And now, take these ingredients. A hearty helping of heritage, a pinch of pride, and a lot of love. Add them together, and you get our next story, all about a man working hard to keep his family's legacy alive.
My name is Emilio Ceguera. I am Pilsen. It's a big part of me. It's what built my character. I would like to keep my father and my mother's legacy alive in Pilsen.
That legacy began right here, inside this unassuming building at 1700 South Halsted. It was built in 1853 and even survived the Great Chicago Fire.
This is the best part of the birria. This is the spine, a lot of good meat here.
Today, it's a hot new Mexican-American cocktail bar and kitchen called Cerdito Muerto. But for much of his life, Emilio Oseguera simply called it home.
My parents had a business here since the 80s. So we grew up upstairs. I literally tell people, you're in my house. Because you literally are in my house. I grew up here.
If these walls could talk, they'd tell you the history of a hard-working, close-knit Mexican-American family. But it's not the story you might expect to hear. So let Emilio start at the beginning.
When my father got here in '73, he rented a cot in the basement. Originally, the business used to be a barbershop. Once my father got on his feet, he ends up meeting my mother here in Chicago. And in '83, that's when my dad closed the barbershop and he made it a pool hall.
We had to ask, why a pool hall?
My father was a rancher, farming community, rural area in Mexico, and shooting pool is their pastime. And my father was very gifted at playing pool, so he made a pool hall.
But he didn't do it alone.
Behind my father was a very, very strong woman who really pushed him to, like, let's do this. We can do this. Why not? My mother started selling menudo, to the young guys on Sundays. My father took away one of the pool tables and made her a kitchen.
And so this American dream began to become real for the Osegueras and for the neighborhood around them.
It was such a safe space for a lot of people in the community, especially young men, brown men specifically, that were able to come here, enjoy, shoot some pool, eat some tacos. I would like to think that most people that are from Pilsen or have roots in Pilsen came across these doors at some point.
And many, many did, until the recession hit in '09. Work for Emilio's father, whose day job was drywalling, began to wane.
From 2010 on, it was kind of like towards the end of like the high point of this business. In 2013, my father did pass away. And the moment he passed away, immediately business kind of died. That's good juice.
That's good juice.
Just a few years earlier, Emilio earned a degree in hospitality management. Right out of college, he worked in some of the city's top restaurants. Finally, in 2022, he felt ready to combine his expertise and his love for his parents into a new venture.
The vibe is very pleasant. I want to say it's not moody, but it's intimate. It's almost like you're coming to a very nice dinner party at a friend's house.
It took hard work and nearly 3 years of construction, but Emilio traded pool tables for dining tables, creating Cerdito Muerto. It opened on his birthday this past May. The name literally means dead piggy, but no offense meant here.
Where is he? Where is the piglet? Oh. So pigs are endearing in our culture. Cerdito Muerto, the muerto part is really paying homage to the people that have been here before.
But Emilio says it's the intangibles that hit home the most.
I know my father would have been very proud, and it's just a shame he was not here to experience it, but he is here, without a doubt. I talk to my father a lot here, and his guidance is very much well received, and I know when I'm receiving it. This isn't just me. It's my parents' legacy. I think about that every day I'm in this space. I think about that every day.
Emilio's mom is still in the kitchen making great food with her time-tested recipes.
When we come back, a voice and a story you won't soon forget.
We get into some sunshine today. Clouds will start to increase overnight tonight. That rain chance holds off until about daybreak, and then comes that big chance of rain from the northwest, southeast.
I'm Jonathan Lawson. If you're 50 to 85, please listen closely. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. It's a rate lock for your life insurance that guarantees that once you're insured, your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. Many policies you see don't have one, but you can get a lifetime rate lock from Colonial Penn. This plan was designed for people on a fixed income with coverage options that start at $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in for life. Coverage can never be canceled, and your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. See for yourself. Call for an information kit and gift. Both are free with no obligation.
Call 1-800-307-3535 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-307-3535. 1-800-307-3535. Call now.
'Tis the season for joy and cheer. And Menards knows that during Christmas, there's nothing better than spending time with family and friends. From all of us here at Menards, thank you for making us a part of your year. Whether you strolled through the enchanted forest, picked up everyday items, or finished your biggest projects. From our family to yours, have a Merry Christmas.
More season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Discover Christmas around the world and holidays of light at Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. Step into a sparkling wonderland of over 50 trees and displays, each telling a story of heritage, light, and joy. Tickets at griffinmsi.org.
For the love of your life, have your engagement ring custom made by the Jewelry Exchange. 1-carat certified lab diamonds, $4.99, or natural GIA for $15.90. 14K mounts are $4.99. Thousands of choices, always the best deal. The Jewelry Exchange, Villa Park.
I was baking cupcakes for my son for his birthday. During washing the baking pans, I sliced my finger open with a steel wool. That's my finger after 5 surgeries. I called the Forest because they helped me with the car accident case about a year prior to this incident. I wasn't sure that they took product cases like this, but they did, so I'm really glad I gave them a call. If Jeff were here, I would thank him and his team because I've been through so much.
Now's your chance to tell him yourself.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you, Jeff, so much.
Welcome back. Here's proof now that you never know where life will take you.
Marie Saavedra says, look, listen, and enjoy.
The woman you're about to meet has a pretty neat day job, and then some. Look, listen, and enjoy.
There's a somebody I'm longing to see.
As a professional singer, Charlene Brooks has done it all, from rock to country, jazz to Broadway.
Get a feathered hat for the baby.
And when we say done it all, you can't begin to imagine. You see, singer Charlene Brooks is also Rabbi Charlene Brooks.
Now, having begun Exodus.
But her people at Congregation B'nai Shalom in Skokie simply call her
Rabbi Shar.
So how did she get from here to here?
The spirit is to love.
And why is she doing her service in sign language?
Well,
that's all kind of a long story, and Rabbi Shar loves a good story. So let's start at the beginning.
I grew up mostly in Andersonville, which is it was a very nice neighborhood.
She got really serious about singing after college. And when a job in accounting just didn't cut it, she jumped at the offer to put together a band and hit the clubs on Rush Street. She even traveled, singing country songs at state fairs and doing one-woman shows.
During that time, I joined this temple with my family. I remember sitting there in the sanctuary and listening to the cantor, thinking, that's so cool, I would love to do that. And I ended up doing a Hanukkah program. And the next thing I knew, I was cantoring here.
It was a job she held for the next 27 years.
I started seminary somewhere in there, and somewhere before the 27 years was over, and started studying Hebrew seminary and was ordained. The rabbi here passed away, and I was offered the job.
Shar says she never had to choose between her life on stage
It only tells us
and on the bima.
as I was doing services on Friday nights, Saturday mornings, I was doing shows Saturday night. And the audience was, a large part of my audience was my congregation, as one.
Not a typical rabbi and not a typical congregation.
Because tonight is a special event.
It's why you see Shar and an interpreter communicating in sign language.
Welcoming in the Shabbos bride.
B'nai Shalom was formed over 50 years ago by a group of families who were deaf.
Because the deaf families had no place of their own that was dedicated with sign language and with respect. We have more hearing members than we have deaf right now. However, we're always respectful of the deaf people that are watching on Zoom or here with us in person. Baruch Shem Kivod. And my daughter even comes in and adds to the sign language. And where thou liest down.
While she loves being in front of her congregation, Shar says there's something else that's important.
My goal being a rabbi, believe it or not, was to do funerals. Both of my parents were survivors of the Holocaust. They lost every human being they knew or had anybody attend their death other than the other people dying. As long as I can remember, I wanted to honor them.
Shar says coming from a family of survivors taught her to both endure sadness and cherish joy.
This conversation is a moment. The time you have a dinner where everybody's laughing, that's a moment. You have to grab onto that because it could change in a heartbeat.
That belief is clear in Shar's sermons.
Kol Asher Deber Hashem. I'm not happy unless people have laughed and they've cried. And then hopefully they've laughed as they're leaving. Lord is the strength in my life. And I first thought that my mission was to sing. The other part is taking that and helping people with it. That's my mission. I have a job where I can sing and I can help people. Pretty good. Someone to watch over me.
Shar told us she even writes original songs for Sabbath services. She calls it one of her claims to fame, and we know that she has many. For Eye on Chicago, I'm Marisa Vedra, CBS News, Chicago.
What an amazing voice. She is just dynamo.
No doubt. Up next for us, women working together through a real tough challenge. Their sweet story coming up.
Chicago really has a heart to help everyone in need at all times, and I think that's what makes the city so beautiful. I see the love of Chicago in stories where people are facing the most difficult times. It's when I see neighbors helping neighbors in a time of need, and people are coming together in a community, or just people rebuilding their lives with hope. That's truly the love of Chicago.
Adler University. Challenge Convention. Create change. To learn more, visit adler.edu today.
Catch your favorite teams and all the winning plays. Watch the CBS Chicago Sports Report, weekdays at 5 and 6.
Sponsored by Ankin Law. Call 312-6-million. Injury law made personal. That's Ankin Law.
Think of all the places that could expose you to identity theft and financial loss. It only takes one mistake at your bank, hospital, or employer for a criminal to gain access to your personal information. And if they do, you and your money are at risk.
I thought I'd be the last person on earth this would happen to.
It was devastating. $110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
1 in 3 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft. Are you willing to risk your financial future? With LifeLock, if your identity is compromised, we'll step in and fix it so you don't have to. Guaranteed. Our dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialists handle your case from start to finish. They contact institutions on your behalf, dispute fraudulent charges, close compromised accounts, and even procure legal support, far beyond the capabilities of your bank or credit card company.
The bank didn't help me. The police department didn't help me. It was LifeLock who had my back on all this.
It was handled and taken care of. I didn't have to do anything.
In fact, we're so confident that restoration is guaranteed. Plus, LifeLock offers the $1 Million Protection Package with reimbursement up to $1 million for stolen funds, experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses up to $3 million in total.
When I opened my mail and I had a check from LifeLock, I just started crying. They made me whole.
Act now to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year. Your membership includes identity monitoring and alerts, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist, and the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package. Don't face identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock, the leader in identity theft protection. Call 800-465-1163 or visit lifelock.com/get35 to get 35% off your first year.
Well, the Beatles said it, and it is true. You get by with a little help from your friends.
We met some women who were helping each other one day at a time with kindness, caring, and a little candy.
And then make sure you check in here.
Hi, how are you? The volunteers are here.
I think we're ready.
And now it's time to begin today's project, filling 60 gift bags at Kendra Olvani's home in the northern suburbs. But these aren't just any volunteers, and this is not just any project.
We know we're going to pay it forward.
I remember, I crumbled to the ground. Nearly every woman here got the call from their doctor telling them they had breast cancer. They're part of a nonprofit called the Licorice Project, a community for breast cancer patients, survivors, and thrivers.
Really what we want to do is we want to connect people, and we want to share resources, and we want to spread some unexpected joy to people who are on this journey.
Kendra and her sister Katie Clark began the Licorice Project after getting some really bad news.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of 2011.
Kendra's thought, how can I help?
As part of these coding classes I was taking, we had to work on a project. I thought doing a real-world project would be helpful.
The answer? A support system to connect breast cancer patients and survivors so they can help each other.
After we started talking to people and interviewing them, we thought, well, we're really onto something, that there is a need here that is not being met.
The Licorice Project offers in-person events, a website full of resources, and a private Facebook group that's considered a 24/7 godsend.
No matter what time of night, I could send a message, hey, I'm experiencing this. Is anyone else experiencing this? Always somebody would respond with, yes, I'm going through the same thing. It's normal.
It's kind of like a foxhole friendship, you know? You're all in the same boat, and you kind of cling to each other.
Sharing their stories brings the women together.
I think the hardest thing for me was all of my family's out of town and having to tell people over the phone.
Patricia Miller says the Licorice Project community knew what to say when her family couldn't find the words.
They didn't really know what to do and what to say because they were struggling with it as well. Connecting with the Licorice Project gave me a support group straight off the bat.
Back in Kendra's living room, the gifts are wrapped and ready to go into the bags.
We have these little compact mirrors. We have cosmetic bags.
Each gift bag is sent to new TLP members to help them through their day.
And you're going to take one of each thing. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gifts. We also, just so you know, we will also drop in licorice at the time of mailing. We add that
along
to
with
it.
the special notes that
An added benefit, women who started as strangers are now friends.
You could really reach out and say, I am so tired. When is this gonna end? Or you can just vent. I'm having a really bad day, or I'm having a really great day.
Which is just what the sisters had in mind.
Even though it's a very tough, heavy topic, it's very joyful to see how people come together and support one another. And it really guides everything we do. We're constantly looking like, what's a little way that we can spread a little joy and brighten someone's day?
So how did the Licorice Project get its name? The sisters were inspired by the kind people who gave out candy to runners raising money for breast cancer research.
Now, looking at things a little differently can be a good thing. Marie Saavedra introduces us to a young author who loves words in her own way.
CC Santagata says dyslexia doesn't define her. It's just part of who she is. In fact, she calls it her superpower because it's taken her to new heights. This is a very big day in the library at Creekside Elementary School in suburban Plainfield. It's the grand opening of a special section with books dedicated to understanding dyslexia. And one of the authors featured is Creekside's own fifth grader, CC Santagata.
My family's here and my friends could all support me doing this.
CC loves a good story, so much that she tells her own story in this book.
Dad, you got this.
Cecilia's journey embracing dyslexia. The key word, embracing.
My saying is like, all brains are beautiful.
District 202 reading specialist Denise Wilson has been working with CC for years and says dyslexia is often misunderstood.
People always think of the flipping letters, and like that's part of it. Some of those letters could look like other letters, and so like it could just be jumbled because their brain isn't connecting to what the letter is. Or in a sentence, having, say, a 5-word sentence, they might have all the words, but mix them up in a different order.
CC says looking at words is fine for her, but actually reading is a different story.
The words aren't connecting or like, kind of like dancing on the page.
Her parents and CC herself knew at an early age something wasn't quite right. CC says when she finally got her diagnosis, it was a huge relief just to know what was going on.
I like understand.
Did that feel empowering?
Yeah.
That power made CC want to write the book.
I realized there's other kids that could be in my school that has dyslexia. And I didn't want them just like to have a hard time in the library.
CC wrote it with the help of her grandmother, Linda Cortez, who has written other children's books.
It really was her idea. She just basically said, since you've already published books, and can you help me with this one? We initially started with a manuscript, and then we went through the illustrations together. She made quite a few changes, and I had an idea about this, but she changed it, so it developed into Cecilia's book.
CC wanted the book to be part of the school library, not just for kids with dyslexia, but for all students and teachers.
Everyone in the school has just been like, wow, CC, that's so great. And it's a really open a conversation that we might not have had otherwise.
And CC and her buddy Julian have formed the Lunch Bunch, a recess activity where all kids can learn more about dyslexia.
The more we talk about it, the better the kids will understand.
Denise says now that CC understands dyslexia, she is learning to decode troublesome words, and her test scores are taking off.
She's unstoppable. I love it. So she is just going full force.
Denise told us that people with dyslexia have the skills to show what they know. We just have to give them the tools to unlock the words. I'm Marie Saavedra, CBS News, Chicago.
CC's career as an author is just beginning. She says she and her grandmother have a lot of work ahead.
Impressive. Well, coming up, the story behind a magazine that began here in Chicago and became famous around the world.
Divorce attorney Jeffrey Leving has been reuniting fathers and children for over 40 years.
Dads, don't lose your children in divorce. Fight for what counts.
Visit dadsrights.com or call 312-356-DADS.
The perfect gifts. The Jewelry Exchange has diamond pendants $99, diamond clusters $249 per carat, 5-carat diamond tennis bracelets $8.99, 1-carat studs and solitaires $2.99. Great service, selection, and prices. Factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange, Villa Park.
The secret is out. With millions of younger-looking customers across the country, Plexaderm is one of the most sought-after anti-aging products available today. Influencers love it, magazines feature it, and people just can't get enough of it. As a matter of fact, Elle Magazine gave it an Editor's Choice Award as Best Instant Wrinkle Filler for 2025. Plexaderm reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and those dreaded under-eye bags in as little as 10 minutes. So yes, you can look years younger in minutes, and the effects will last for hours. No surgery, no gimmicks, just results.
Look at this one under-eye bag. It's gone.
I've tried it all, and then I found Plexaderm, and this happened.
The best news, you can try Plexaderm this holiday season for only $14.95 and free shipping. Just call the number on your screen, scan the QR code, or visit plexadermtrial.com.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact.
It is so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone your legs, increase your mobility, flexibility, and balance. Plus, stimulate healthy circulation.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better. It makes me feel stronger too.
Perfect for home therapy. Whisper quiet to use while you work.
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the Deluxe Bundle. Get the faster motor or 5 miles of steps per hour, the step counter, the sport mat, and wireless remote. Call now.
Live, CBS January 11th.
I'm Nikki Glazer, and I'm back hosting the Golden Globes on CBS. Do you ever wonder what they were actually saying during Hollywood's biggest party? Well, lucky for you, I am a certified lip reader with over 0 hours of experience, so check it out. Oh, look, it's Glenn Close and Kathy Bates. Kathy's like, Sandler, Tucci, Chalamet. And Glenn is like, smash, pass, would hit it again.
The Golden Globes, live, CBS Sunday, January 11th.
It's a magazine celebrating 80 years of telling the world about Black life and success in America.
Our Dorothy Tucker sat down with media icon Lyndon Johnson Rice to talk about all things Ebony.
I recently sat down with Lyndon Johnson Rice. We talked about her family, her toughest career move, and a deeply personal challenge she's navigating with style and grace. It was the trend-setting publication that showed the world the news, the culture, and the successes of Black America. Ebony was the magazine everyone wanted to be in, wanted to have on their coffee table, and wanted to talk about.
We would be out to dinner and someone would stop my father and say, oh my goodness, I read Ebony. I'm so proud of what you're doing.
Ebony has been part of Lyndon Johnson Rice's life ever since she can remember. Her father, John H. Johnson, founder of Johnson Publishing, created the first edition in November of 1945. Her mother, Eunice W. Johnson, was the original fashion editor. And even as a child, many years before she became the company's CEO, Rice was a regular in the office.
I'm sure I was completely annoying, but that was my sort of playground, and that was my home away from home.
Now, as Ebony celebrates its 80th anniversary, Rice's mission to share parts of that home and its story with everyone.
This is what you saw when you came in the door.
That's right.
The receptionist sat here, and you came up, and because I remember.
Rice called on dear friend, Chicago artist Theaster Gates, to preserve her family's legacy and a permanent collection at the Stony Island Arts Bank. It takes a step back in time to Johnson Publishing's offices. There's the receptionist desk, timeless artwork, chairs, desks, and lamps.
Why was it important to save this furniture?
Our things are sometimes the keepers of the truth that we've existed and we've done great things.
The Johnson Publishing Company library is an archive of Ebony magazines and 12,000 books, most written by Black authors. It was here that Rice opened up about her life, her family, and what it was like to meet some pretty amazing people.
If you were a black person of note and you came to Chicago, you absolutely came by Johnson Publishing Company. The first group of people that I met that I was like stunned was the Jackson 5. You know, I'm a kid, I'm Michael Jackson's age. I'm like, oh my God, this is Michael Jackson. This is the Jackson 5.
Reverend Jesse Jackson was a regular. So was comedian and activist Dick Gregory. Aretha Franklin came by. Rice's first job at age 7 to accompany her mom to couture shows in Europe to prepare for the iconic Ebony Fashion Fair show.
And let me tell you, working for Eunice Johnson was probably harder than working for John Johnson. She was very exacting and very demanding in everything that she wanted done exactly the right way.
And as time went on, Linda got the business bug, sitting in on editorial and other meetings with her dad.
I really was kind of a sponge in the very beginning, just sort of sitting there and absorbing everything and watching him work and the way that he would, you know, talk to people and get them to bring out the best in them.
Rice became chairman and CEO in 2002 and led the company until tough times led to his last paper issue in 2019 as publishing was changing.
You saw a rise, obviously, on the digital side of the business. And that affected and has still affected magazines to this day. It became very, very difficult financially to produce a magazine. It was very hard to make that decision to, you know, to sell Ebony. It was very difficult.
The building that housed Johnson Publishing for decades still stands on South Michigan Avenue. Now it's an apartment building, but it's kept parts of the company alive. Art and photos from back in the day, as well as that iconic Ebony logo. It's a symbol of strength overcoming obstacles, and so is Linda Johnson Rice.
When did you begin to lose your sight? Oh, you know what, my vision issues started to happen in probably 2000. So now I have no vision in my right eye, and my left eye is compromised.
Still, Rice remains active, serving on corporate and nonprofit boards, and always in motion.
I'm not going to just sit in a corner and feel sorry for myself.
So this is one of your tables, Linda. It has
just, you know, go forward, keep going. You got to just keep moving.
We are doing the work.
So Rice carries on her parents' mission of celebrating the contributions of Black Americans and telling their stories with the help of the John H. Johnson exhibit.
I wanted to ensure that John Johnson, Eunice Johnson, and Linda Johnson were never forgotten, and that we have the ability to fold Johnson Publishing back onto the South Side, where so many amazing stories happen, and now it has a permanent home forever.
I will never let the world forget John and Eunice Johnson and what they created and how they showcase Black people with a sense of pride and a sense of purpose and a sense of power, always, always.
As for the future, Rice says she's exploring new opportunities in the film and television industries. Dorothy Tucker, CBS News, Chicago.
We hope some of our favorite stories are now some of yours.
Remember, you can see Eye on Chicago Friday nights on CBS News Chicago at 10. Thank you again for joining us, and happy holidays.
And Happy New Year.
For the love of Chicago, happy holidays.
Catch your favorite